I'm obviously a plant nerd and I'm also a crazy dog lady. I'm a huge dog mum. I love my puppies. So this video obviously had to happen. So if you want dogs and plants together in one video, this is it. Let's do it. Bye, noises. Good timing. Okay, let's get the horror talk out of the way first. So we've all seen the lists and you know that like the big gorgeous plants are on there. The monsteras, the 𝗟𝗔𝗧, the pothos, they are all considered toxic to pets, and they absolutely are. And for us pet parents, it's like, what if they just nibble a leaf or, you know, accidentally chew a stem? It's that little thing in our heads that just worry us about how toxic our plants really are. Now you can see my doggy is there, one of them, and I have a lot of those toxic plants around my pets. But the truth is, it's the sap in these plants that are toxic. So if my dogs brush past the plants going out the door, which they always do, it's not harmful to them. And my dogs completely ignore my plants. They do not want to chew my plants. They never did from a puppy either. Bye, Maggies. But I know that's not the case for everybody, because I know some of you had those little chaos monsters that treat every little leaf like a salad bar. So if that is your reality, then this list today is going to be your lifesaver. Okay, so the first plant type on my list for pet safe plants is the beautiful Calathea. Now, before you roll your eyes at me, and I know some of you will, because you think, oh my gosh, they're so hard, they're impossible to grow, bear with me, because there are some that are easier to grow than others. If you're just starting out, the Calathea rattlesnake is the one to start out with. Beautiful foliage, very, very different and striking, and it's probably a little bit easier than some of the others. Now, this one here is also one of my favorites. This is Calathea illustra. The leaves can get really big and beautiful. And this one almost died on me, but came back to life. But if I was to choose one and one only Calathea that I would have, that is my stunning list and pet safe, it is this one, the Calathea 𝗟𝗏𝗳𝗆. So this girl here, it is the middle of winter. I've actually seen she's got mealybugs on it, unfortunately, because she was living next to a plant with mealybugs. And so she's actually not the healthiest. And still, look how good she is. Oh my gosh. So you can even see a little bit of browning on the leaves. This is the worst state she's got, and she's still stunning. And when she's very healthy, which I'll show you some shots of now, it's even more beautiful. These big, round, gorgeous, stripy kind of leaves. They've got this little bit of a pattern on them, but they're such bold and vibrant and noticeable leaves that it just stands out wherever it is. Out of all the Calatheas that I think I've grown, and I've probably got about 8 or 9 of them, this has to be my favorite in terms of looks, and also probably, I think, fairly easy to grow. My one tip with Calatheas, make sure every now and again you dry the soil out and then water it again. The biggest problem with these is people think they like consistent moisture in their soil and then they just keep it consistently wet and damp the whole time. And for me, I like to ignore mine just a little bit more than that, let them dry out at least halfway and then pop them back in water again. And some I do have in a self-watering pot, but again, I leave it for as long as I can so it does dry out and evaporate a bit, or I'll exchange the water and empty it out if there's too much. So just be careful not to overwater your Calathea, even though it does like consistent moisture. I think if you just ignore your Calatheas, they'll be so much better for it. But my number one pick is your Calathea 𝗟𝗏𝗳𝗆 for a stunning, beautiful, pet-safe plant. Right, what's next? What is next? Okay, so the next plant on my top list of 7 is this one here, my beautiful 𝗟𝗏𝗳𝗆 triastar. Now, due to not a lot of room in my house, I decided to move this one outdoors about a year ago. So honestly, it's probably the unhealthiest it's ever been. I don't know if I should be admitting that on camera, but it's, again, the middle of winter, it's outside. But look how gorgeous it still is. And you also might look at it and think it's a variegated plant, and we all know variegated plants can be a little tougher than the normal green ones. Plus, it's a prayer plant, so it's kind of like a Calathea, and yet this is, in my eyes, one of the easiest plants to grow. You kind of just let it do its thing. Honestly, it is so easy for a prayer plant. I absolutely love it. But one of the most beautiful things about this plant is the dark purple underleaf. So if you've got the plant up at night, you see this beautiful, like, pinky purple look, and down in the day you see the tricolour leaves. So this is my number 2 recommendation. Give it a go. It is absolutely stunning, even on its worst days. Okay, back you go. I've just popped in the car. We're going to my local Flower Power plant nursery, and we're going to talk about the next two plants because one I have and I'm going to throw away, you'll see why, and one I'm trying to find the one I had before because it was a huge wish list plant of mine. So wish me luck. Let's go. Okay, I've just seen some 20 to 50% off signs. This is dangerous. Okay, so the next plant on my list, as you can see, we're walking into this Flower Power nursery. I'm going to try and find 𝗟𝗏𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗏. And the one I want to find is this beautiful plant I had ages ago, is my 𝗟𝗏𝗜𝗂𝗏 pink lady. It was absolutely stunning. I bought it from a plant exhibition and I saw this one and I had to have it, and it lasted for so long and then I overwatered it. So that's the one I'm looking for today. If you can find this one, go for it. But any Pilea plant is safe for pets. So go for the more stiff, flat leaf, the thicker leaf. If you want an easier plant to grow, if you want to give yourself a bit of a challenge, go for the ones that are a little bit wrinkly and gorgeous. They're all very small. They're all easy to sit beautifully on a plant shelf. They're not just a trendy Instagram plant. They'll be around forever. But for me, I hated the fact that I overwatered mine. So I might just have to wait for that same exhibition that comes up in April next year. So that's almost a year away. Anyway. And the next plant we're going to look for here that is pet safe are ferns. Now, again, I probably know what you're thinking here. Ferns die indoors. Everybody knows that. They're really hard to grow. And if you're looking at a fern, like a maidenhair fern with the really delicate leaves, a lot of people struggle with it because it just almost needs to sit in water constantly. But my point is, not all ferns are equally as hard. So if you are going to try a fern, there's a couple of beautiful ones, but my favorite is honestly the one that I have just bought, because right now mine is back in the corner up there. You might be able to see it, and it is doing very badly. And that is the bird's nest fern. So I bought this one from the shops, but don't be fooled by ferns. Just don't overwater them. Let the soil dry out a bit between waterings and don't give them direct sun. Make sure it's not too hot. And this one, honestly, my current fern is riddled with pests. I have cut it right back, taken all of the leaves off, and it's still got the same pests, and now it's got these eggs in the bottom. I don't like it. So I'm going to cut my losses. I'm going to throw that plant away and I'm going to replace it with this beauty. Look at it. Look at the beautiful green leaves. Oh, it is stunning. Oh, and one other thing. A lot of people like misting plants. Now, I don't recommend misting plants, especially if you've got your plants indoors, because there's not enough airflow in a lot of different houses. So water will sit on the top of the leaves and create rot or mold, right? And especially with ferns, if you do mist them, you'll very easily get rot in the middle there. It's very easy for these guys to get that. So please don't mist your ferns. If you do and it's working for you, I'm not going to stop you. Some people love it, some people do well, but if you've never tried a fern before or one of your first times, don't mist the plants. Just water it thoroughly here. Keep it in a lower shade, a warmish temperature, and let the soil dry out between waterings, at least 2/3, 3/4, I would say, before watering again. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ferns. Give it a go. I think once you find them and they work for you, you'll fall in absolute love with them. Just got to find the right spot. I'm going to talk to the people. I'm going to say hello. You want to say hello? Okay. Okay, so the final one on my list here is probably maybe the most surprising to many of you, and that is the humble orchid. I absolutely adore orchids. Now, I'm normally my whole channel is called Leafy Lovin because I'm for the leaves. I love big leaves and variegated leaves and round leaves and hello, and all sorts of leaves on my orchids. Hello, thank you very much. Good timing in my dog and plant video, Moosey. But in mid-July here in Australia, where it's the middle of winter, they have decided to give me all of these new blooms. And on this orchid specifically, I also did a bit of an experiment. So I kept the old stalks on. I didn't cut any of it off. The blooms just fell off and they stayed green. So I kept them on to see what they would do. And they've also started to give me new flowers. That's a new flower. That's a new flower. Same with this one. There's one there. And there's one in there. So these guys, for me, are blooming beautiful at the moment. Here's one outside that I keep, a Cymbidium orchid. But any kind of orchid would do. And yes, as I said, I'm the leaf girl, but honestly, the flowers on these guys are just so different and unique and stunning. And as you saw, I just went to the shops and I saw another couple of absolutely beautiful ones. And I also saw my very first slipper orchid. And I never understood why they were called a slipper orchid because I hadn't really seen one before until today. Because if you check out the little center of these orchids, the orchids are a little bit odd and weird, but the tiny little center looks like a tiny little slipper. Oh my gosh, it is the most adorable thing. So while I can't buy them just yet, I don't think I have enough room in this house. When I get a big house, I probably will have like a whole windowsill or something full of orchids, or a shelf full of orchids. And honestly, they're one of those plants that you can kind of almost just leave alone for such a long time. As long as you get the medium right, the thing that they're living in, don't put them in soil. Just get some orchid bark and some sphagnum moss, like 20% sphagnum, or 20% moisture material, 80% orchid bark. Just mix it up and they will live happily ever after. These guys have been in the same thing for a long time. And as long as you obviously feed it nutrients over time. So yeah, the orchid, the humble orchid, the thing that some people look at in the supermarket and go, 12 bucks, that's disgusting. Honestly, give it a go. They're beautiful for your pets. The flowers, when they bloom for you, oh, it's kind of like the Hoyas. They're just absolutely stunning. And as I said, not a flower person, but orchids I 100% recommend and rate very highly. So there you have it, my top 7 picks for pet safe plants that are dog mum approved as well as plant nerd approved. And I do think they will look absolutely sexy in your home, especially when they're beautiful and healthy. And look, there are a few more choices to the pet safe list as well. So I'm going to leave a download that you can grab for free. It's approved by the ASPCA, I think that's American, the RSPCA here in Australia, but there's a couple more to that list if you want to expand your jungle. So that is it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. As always, have a week full of leaves, love and laughter and lots of furry cuddles. And I will see you in the next video just here. Okay, see you guys, bye. Go on then. No, you're button the camera. Don't work with kids or animals is what they say, isn't it? What are you doing?